The Western Roman Empire collapsed, and it was divided among 10 kingdoms by barbarian tribes that invaded Rome from the north during the 3rd and late 4th centuries. In a vision, Daniel was given a prophecy. He saw in a vision a kingdom rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 10 crowns on his horns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. The dragon, or Satan, gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. He saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world marveled and followed the beast, who is the Antichrist. And they worshipped Satan the dragon, through the Antichrist, who gave authority to him, and proclaimed, "Who is like the Antichrist? Who is able to make war with him?" Daniel was given a vision of the Antichrist, a world leader rising to power from within a league of 10 kings. Horn in the Bible mean king or kingdom. Daniel saw in his vision that the Antichrist was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and he was given authority to continue for 42 months. The Antichrist opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, and to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those who dwell in heaven. It was granted to the Antichrist to make war with the saints and to overcome them. Authority was given to the Antichrist over every tribe, tongue, and nation. All who dwell on the earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Christians whose names have been written in the book of life will not worship the Antichrist. Just as Christians worship the Father through Jesus, Satan will in like manner have his followers to worship him through the Antichrist, or the Pope, or any other false religious leader at that time. Satan will possess the Antichrist, and the world will marvel and follow him through the Antichrist he has chosen. Rome, in the beginning, was a conquering empire that ruled under emperors. The government was different from all the kingdoms that were before it because it was never conquered by any other Gentile kingdom. Then Rome became a pagan empire or called pagan Rome at the time of Jesus. Rome was never conquered by a successor. It was only transformed. Here is the description of the transformed Roman Empire. It is different from all other kingdoms before it, that is, it is different from Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greek, and pagan Rome. It devours the whole earth, tramples it and breaks it in pieces, that is, the whole world is under its control. The pagan kingdom was divided into 10 kingdoms. Another kingdom rose among them, and this kingdom is different from the first ones. This kingdom subdues 3 kings, that is, it uprooted the kingdom of the Heruli, Vandals, and the Ostrogoths. When Rome was divided into 10 kingdoms, and a different king emerges from the 10 kings of the reviving pagan Roman Empire during the barbarian invasions from the north. The barbarian nations became independent nations that placed themselves within the boundaries of the western territory of the Roman Empire, and they were namely, the Franks, which today is called France; the Alemanni, which today is called Germany; the Lombards, which today is called Italy; the Suevi, which is today called Portugal; the Anglo-Saxons, which today is called England; the Burgundians, which today is called Switzerland; the Visigoths, which is today called Spain. When the papacy under papal Rome came up among these 10 kingdoms, it plucked out or uprooted 3 of the first kingdoms, and then it was replaced with papal Rome, who had eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking pompous words, and had an appearance greater than his companions. The last 3 kingdoms that were uprooted by the papacy, or the little horn, were the Heruli, the Vandals, and the Ostrogoths. The Heruli opposed the Roman Catholic Church, supported by Emperor Justinian of the Eastern Roman Empire, and it was uprooted in 493 AD. The Vandals opposed the Roman Catholic Church, and it was uprooted in 534 AD, and the Ostrogoths opposed the Roman Catholic Church and was uprooted in 538 AD. The 3 kings were uprooted by the Little Horn Kingdom, the papacy. The little horn in Daniel's prophecy is the papacy. It is a religious system that arose from among the other 10 horns or 10 powers. This means it rose shortly after 476 AD. Rome was completely transformed into papal Rome, an empire under the rule of bishops or popes. The institution of the Roman Catholic Church, or the papacy. The institution of the Roman Catholic Church is located in the Vatican City. Vatican City is the smallest country in the world. It is a sovereign, independent nation-state located inside Rome. The Vatican was established as a state in 754 AD. It is the headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church. It is the city ruled by the Pope, who is the Bishop of Rome, and he is the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Vatican City is the permanent seat of the popes, governed by the Holy See, and is an ecclesiastical religious center holy to the Catholics, not to the Christians. Formerly, in the 3rd century, the Roman Catholic Church was one of many churches that were scattered all over the Roman Empire. Then many people who converted to Christianity after the edicts of Emperor Constantine, the Church became the head of all the churches of the world and dominated the Middle Ages to this day. Therefore, the beast from the sea in Daniel's vision, is the papacy, the institution of the Roman Catholic Church. It was as early as 314 AD, when the papacy first rose to power in Western Europe. Constantine had merged the original Christianity with the state's pagan religion. The old Roman Empire was transformed, revived, and the new power was established around 476 AD. The dragon, who is Satan himself, gave the papacy his power, his throne, and great authority. The Pope, the Bishop of Rome, claims to have no human power, therefore, he is possessed by the devil to claim absolute authority and power over all Catholic churches, over all other bishops and pastors in all parts of the world. He fashions himself as Lord God the Pope, assuming infallibility, and demands that all men pay him homage. The Apostle John was shown the Pope, the false prophet, the Antichrist, forming in his future. Jesus said that many men would come in his name saying, I am the Christ, and they will deceive many. He said false Christ and false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. He said to take heed that no one deceives us, for many will come in his name claiming to be him, and many will be deceived. Paul tells us to let no one deceive us by any means, for the day of Christ will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. The mystery of lawlessness is already at work. It was at work even in the days of Paul. But he who now restrains will do so until he is taken out of the way, and then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. The restrainer is none other than the Holy Spirit. The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteous deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth that they might be saved. And for this reason, God will send them strong delusions, that they should believe the lie, that they all may be condemned who did not believe the truth but had pleasure in unrighteousness. See 2 Thessalonians 2 verses 9 through 12. Those who do not receive the love of the truth that they might be saved, will be enslaved with all unrighteous deception among those who perish. Satan, through the apparitions of Mary, get Catholics to worship him through her. Devotions to the apparition of Mary are really devotions to Satan. Shrines and statues are the works of Satan, not of God. The demonic apparitions are showing up all over the world, speaking blasphemies and raising Mary above Jesus. And she is not the Mary of the Bible. She is the Queen of Heaven called Ishtar, a goddess of war and fertility. She was known to the Jews in biblical days as the Queen of Heaven to whom the women burned incense and poured out drink offerings to. See Jeremiah 44 verses 17 to 19. Demonic angels are showing miracles in the sun, statues weeping blood and oil, statues drinking milk, spontaneous healings, and all sorts of false miraculous miracles and vision, just as Paul said that God would send them strong delusions, that they should believe the lie. This transformed ecumenical false Christian church adopts Christian unity throughout the world and is guilty and drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. Latin Roman Catholic doctrine and theology is pagan Christianity. The institution of the papacy has doctrines that speak pompous words against the Most High. They have persecuted the Christians in the past, and it is prophesied to happen again. The papacy will be making war against the saints and prevailing against them until the second coming of Jesus. It will be then that judgment will be made in favor of the saints, who belong to the Most High God, and the time will come for the saints to possess the kingdom. Persecutions do not have to come only through the papacy though, for deception has risen to a skyrocket high, and Satan can use just about any of his servants to persecute Christians. Not long ago, the terrorists of ISIS, called the Islamic State ISIS and Syria, had spread all over the Middle East, conquering much land. They were beheading Christians when the Christians did not convert to Islam. Persecution of Christians had spread to England, and by ISIS recruiting mostly young adults on the internet in America, many had joined them. Today, terrorists in many parts of the Middle East are persecuting Christians in the name of Allah. Islam is not the Antichrist, for it claims that Christ was a true prophet. However, it is truly a false religion that rules under an ancient false deity called Allah. Allah had existed among their 360 idols in their Kaaba before Muhammad led his people to a monotheistic religion. The Lord will allow the saints to be given into the persecutor's hand for a time and times and half a time. But in the end, the court will be seated, and his dominion will be taken away, to consume and destroy it forever. Then the kingdom and dominion, and the greatness of the kingdoms under the whole heaven will be given to the people, the saints of the Most High. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions will serve and obey him. This king speaks pompous words against the God of heaven, the Most High God, and intends to change the times and law. She is an apostate church and state kingdom, a great harlot who sits on many waters. She is a church who has deep influence on peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. She is a great city called Vatican City, a city that reign over the kings of the earth. The kings of the earth commit fornication with her, and the inhabitants of the earth are made drunk with the wine of her fornication. This transformed kingdom is called the mother of harlots, who sits on a scarlet beast kingdom. She is arrayed in scarlet and purple, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls. She holds in her hand a golden cup, full of abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. She is full of names of blasphemy, and this papal kingdom has 7 mountains, which are the 7 hills in Rome on which she sits. On her forehead, a name was written: Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. And the Christians will be given into her hand, for a time and times and half a time. But after this, the court will be seated, and this false kingdom's dominion will be taken away, and it will be consumed and destroyed forever. John saw a vision of what would happen to the Antichrist, in the end of days. He saw Satan, the king of the earth, and their armies gathered together to make war against Jesus who sat on the horse and against his army. Then the Antichrist was captured, and with him the false prophet, whoever would be the false prophet at that time, working signs in Satan's presence, by which he deceived those who received the mark of the beast and those who worshipped his image. These 2 were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone. And the rest were killed with the sword which proceeded from the mouth of Jesus who sat on the horse. And all the birds will eat and be filled with their flesh. See Revelation 19 verses 19 through 21. Satan will be cast into the lake of fire and brimstone where the Antichrist and the false prophet are, and they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. And the rest of Satan's followers not found written in the book of life will also be cast into the lake of fire. The kingdom of our God is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions will serve and obey him. Thank you for listening. If this video has been a blessing to you, please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.